Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So today I want to talk about SPAC investing, SPAC. Now SPAC stands for Special Purpose Acquisition Companies. So if you are in the investing world and you've been seeing this word SPAC, or you've been seeing these kind of IPO-ish companies coming on the scene, like all of a sudden, this is one of the ways that these are happening. Now SPACs have been around for a long time. It's not new, it's just that sometimes it gets more attention than others. So basically, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, going on back even further, SPACs have always been around. Now make sure you subscribe and like this video. I appreciate all of our subscribers, and every comment definitely well appreciated. We look to just give you as much information as we can, giving you some wisdom around just finances, investing, etc. So you don't have to be rich in order to live a good life financially. You can start living a good life financially from wherever you are. All it takes is a little bit of planning. So subscribe to the channel so you can get more information like that. Now back to SPAC. So basically what they do is they raise money to acquire a company, like through an IPO. So now if you don't know what an IPO is, an IPO is an initial public offering. So if a company is private and they're looking to become public, which means that everyone can invest in it, then it goes through what you call an IPO process. Now, once the IPO starts, for a time, there's only a select people that can invest in IPOs traditionally. And sometimes it's like you have to have a certain money, or you have to be a part of a venture capitalist group, or maybe you're on the list or whatever, but it's not open to the general public, as most companies are, like when you see in the stock market. So what happens is, in an IPO process, once the IPO goes public, then you're able to invest in the company. So a lot of times people make a lot of money in the IPO process, and once it goes public, then that amount sometimes goes up and sometimes it goes down, sometimes it just doesn't do anything. So SPACs are kind of like you're investing in a startup. So there's a considerable amount of risk with that. It's not a company these aren't companies that are like fly by night or anything that's like illegal. These companies are bound by the SEC. So that means if you are investing in a SPAC or with a SPAC, then you are protected, by law, legally. But the art of investing in startups, it's risky because a company can do very well or not. And see, with SPACs, there's not really any like any real product, or sometimes it's not anything that's really happened. It can just be a concept, or it can just be a plan where they just created one prototype, and been able to give one demonstration, but you might not have a lot of information around the company that's being invested in at the time. So what a SPAC does is they're pretty much raising money to acquire a company or to merge with a company, as we've seen with companies like Nikola recently. And these are typically known as blank check companies because there's really not, a whole lot you can just necessarily tell from what's happening. And like I said, it's not like you're going to get a definite amount of information. Now, in a sense, you can have some certainty of what a company is doing. So let's say like if it's a startup company or a new company, small company, and they've actually produced some products and they've actually got some things running, you can kind of see what's happening with it now. And it gives you a chance to actually say, well, this might actually be a good investment. So let's say, for example, like Shark Tank. So if you watch Shark Tank and you see someone comes in and they have like a digital board, or they have a whiteboard, or they have pictures, and they just have a whole bunch of concepts of, this is what we're looking to do. We're thinking about doing this. We're thinking about doing that. This is what we're looking to do. We may do that. It can be a great idea, but there hasn't been any execution and anything planned. So if you're investing in it, you're investing in just ideas and thoughts. So you have that. And then you also have it where, someone may come into, Shark Tank, for example, and they're like, hey, this is what we have. This is what we've done. This is the product here. This is what this looks like. We've been able to do this. This is what we made. We've generated this amount of information. We've generated this amount of money so far. We've created this. We've created that. Here's a prototype. You can try it out. So then you have that level of companies. So you see that kind of happening now with different companies where it's just a lot of uncertainty. But you do have that range of companies that can be included, in a SPAC, right? So it's definitely has some risk to it. And so it's something that now personally I'm into investing in startups and things like that. But I invest, pretty carefully. Now, outside of a SPAC, other ways to invest in startups are like when there's like companies like, maybe Seed Invest or something like that, where pretty much what happens is a private company, very small companies, they can come and say, hey, we're opening up, for people to invest in us. And sometimes it's like investments start at $50 or investment starts at $250, and you can get a certain amount of ownership, whatever the case is. Or it's just like crowdfunding, but with, holding assets or things like that. So it just depends on the situation. Each SPAC you can look into, whatever company is being acquired or trying to be acquired at the time, and you can get more information and you can see the information and things like that. Now, one of the things with SPACs is they do have to be able to acquire a certain amount of money within, about a 2-year period, or they will have to return all of that money that was invested back to the investors. So that way, everybody gets their money back. So it's not like they can just have this for 5 years. And what happens with the money is it gets put into a trust that has interest. And so you can't just go into that trust account and do anything. You can't just do anything. So it's not like they can collect the money and then be going out to their favorite restaurant or buying everybody food from Chick-fil-A or taking luxurious trips and things like that. No. Now, they can use some of the money for working capital, but that's documented. So it's not like you're just giving your money and then someone is turning around, taking pictures on Instagram like, hey, look at me, I got a Lamborghini, whatever. No, it's not like that. So it does have some structure to it. The risk factor is that, yes, when you're investing in these companies might not do anything in the long run or even in the short run. So you're kind of giving a company money, like to help them gain more money and to grow. And this process can typically be a lot easier than the regular IPO process, because in the regular IPO process, you kind of got to have some proof. You kind of have some skin in the game that you've done this, you've done that, to really be considered serious. But when you have like a SPAC, it kind of brings a buffer in between, and it kind of brings more investors and people to a situation, to the company or whatever arena that this particular SPAC, special acquisition company, is like investing in, and that can help to generate more money. like for example, like I said, like with Nikola and other companies like Helion, however you say it, like it's just been a lot of money flowing in their direction towards their situation because people have been investing in it. So is it worth investing? It can be, and then it could just be a total bomb. But that's the risk you take when you're investing in a SPAC. Like I said, it's like investing in a startup. So if you're looking to invest in one of these companies, and there's several that are coming out and that are out now, then what you do is just take some time and do your own research. Yes, you can go on YouTube, you can search the company, you can get people's perspective, and then you can go online and then you can look at the company's websites and things like that, and to see what they've done, what they're doing, and things like that, to see if it's something that it might interest you, or it might, not interest you at all. So if you've been wondering what is this SPAC thing going on and all these different companies popping up, and it seems like, well, they're not necessarily just popping up, but it's just kind of one of those times where people are really looking to invest, and in this pandemic, people have a lot more time to pay attention to things. And so what you're seeing is that where people are really honing in on looking for more and more investments, as you see some of these companies like your Amazons and your Teslas and just companies like that are starting to skyrocket. So a lot of people are looking for that same type of opportunity, because most people did not get the chance to invest in Tesla back when it was $20-something a share. Yes, it was $20-something, $30-something, $40 a share. It was low at that time, like several years ago. I remember seeing Tesla low like that. I remember seeing Amazon a $30, $40 stock. You didn't know anything. I remember seeing Netflix as a $2 stock. So just imagine, what if you could have invested in something like Amazon? You put like $500 in Amazon like 10 years ago, 12 years ago. Or you put, $100 into Netflix when it was $2 a share, or $100 into Teslas when it was like a couple bucks a share and nobody cared to even pay attention to it. So what would happen now? Where would you be now, right? So that's the kind of thing that a lot of people are looking for. They're looking for that company that's going to make a lot of money, because what's happening is, as these markets are going up and skyrocketing, and a lot of these companies have reach their highs, that highs in their stock price that they've never reached before, you got a lot of people being able to make some money. Even in my own portfolio, for example, like Tesla, I own some Tesla stock, and so with some of the Tesla stock that I own, like I've gained like 800, 900% on the stock. That's crazy. All because of just what's going on right now and just how things are changing, and some companies are making some good moves, right? Or like Amazon. At one point, Amazon, when it was at $900 a share, $999 a share, $1,000 a share, people were like, "Oh my God, it is too expensive. Oh, it's crazy. Amazon is just too expensive. It's too high." And then now Amazon is a $3,000 a share stock. Not off of hype, but it's that high because everybody's been shopping on Amazon. So those things are very possible, and then it's also possible for those things to go the other way. But we always look and we're hoping and praying for positive. We're hoping for things to work out well. So that's why when we invest, we take our time. We don't rush to invest. We make sure we know what we're investing in, right? You gotta know what you're investing in, right? So do your research. Don't take my word for it. Don't take anybody else's word for it. Consider the suggestions and consider what people are saying in their analysis of a company. Then you take that and you go study for yourself, and do you say, does this work for me? Am I comfortable with this? Can I put $1,000 into this, $5,000, or can I put $100 into this? Can I put $20 into this and not miss it if things don't go well? Right. So, but yeah, that's what SPAC investing is. I think it's really, really cool because it gives you access to some things, especially like we see now in the green energy sector, the energy efficient sector, where things are very, very, very enticing when you look at all the companies that's out there. And I think that's pretty cool that you have the opportunity to actually be able to get a piece and to invest in these companies before. And what's going to happen is one of those companies are going to do very well just because of the nature of what we're doing right now. But you might not know exactly which one will be the next Tesla or whatever. So make sure you do your research. Make sure you go find more information that you're getting from this video. But yeah, hope that's been helpful, guys. Like I said, consider subscribing to this channel. Love to give out information around investing, money, just being wise with your money. All right, see you guys soon. Peace.